this free guitar beginners course. During this 3-hour tutorial, you will be learning all the essentials of guitar playing. If you would like to learn everything about this skill and start playing the guitar like a pro, go to skillademia.com and get access to the full course. Now, let's begin.
Hey there, and welcome to this mega guitar course. We're so happy to have you here once again. We're going to talk a lot about different things that you need to play the guitar correctly and to not strain your hands and have a good time playing the guitar and just, come on, shred away, right? Because that's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys out and become good guitar players, okay? So we're going to talk a lot of stuff about playing guitar and about having a good posture, doing some hand exercises as well so we can strengthen our hands and make them faster and make them ready to play some good guitar licks, right? So, okay, in this introduction, I'm going to talk about just the posture and the different things you have to take into account in order to be a good guitar player. Cool? So first, we're going to talk about our posture. I'm sitting down right here with my guitar, and I'm pretty comfortable, and this is a very good posture for playing guitar, whether it's electric or acoustic guitar, okay? So I'm going to give you the example first with the electric guitar, okay? I'm going to tell you what I'm using. I'm using a little box on my left foot right here. They also sell a little, they're like a little base with an X, kind of like this, so you can elevate your left foot a little bit. And this helps a lot because it helps you position the fretboard of the guitar so that you don't strain your hands and you are in the most comfortable position possible. Another advice I'm going to give you is always use your strap, okay? Whether you're standing up, obviously you need it, but if you're sitting down, it's important for you to use your strap, always. This is the strap for my guitar. I usually use it kind of short. And it helps me a lot whether I'm sitting down or standing up because it relieves the strain of getting the guitar in place from your back and from your arms. Okay, so check it out. If I don't have the strap and I don't have the box, I'm going to struggle a little bit, and naturally, the fretboard is going down and the headstock of the guitar is also going down. And that's no good for me because then I'm going to be like, I'm going to be kind of uncomfortable. And check out this. Look what happens to my wrist. My wrist is going to start bending. And that's not good for playing guitar because we're going to talk about a little bit about hand anatomy as well in a while, because when your wrist bends, right, and your carpals bend like this, you give a strain into the tensors and the flexing muscles right here and the tendons. You're giving some extra strain that your hands don't need when you're playing guitar. You gotta be in a comfortable position in order to play the guitar correctly, okay? So, I'm gonna switch this for the acoustic so you can see how it works with that one. So, if I grab my acoustic right here, I'm still as comfortable. Check it out. And with the acoustic, especially with this one that has a very large body, it's a rancher type guitar. You don't need anything else but you just need to elevate your foot a little bit, okay? It's not a big problem, but it's just to say that elevating your left foot when you're sitting down is a very healthy guitar position. Yeah, another thing that's very important when you're playing guitar and you're choosing and starting out with this and you don't know how to sit down in order to be in a comfortable position is the chair. It's a lot more important than you think. You have to choose a very comfortable stool. Like this stool, I like it a lot because it has like a padded surface right here for me to sit on. It's very important because you're going to spend a lot of time sitting down playing your guitar. It has to be comfortable for you. Remember that. You have to be comfortable. You have to be relaxed. You have to be in your easy chair for playing, okay? It's nice for it also to have back, right? Because, I do a little bit of meditation too, and for everything you're doing in life, spinal posture is very important, right? So if you need to rest for a while, it's important for you to have lumbar support, okay? So it's always good for your chair to have lumbar support, okay? It's very important. Now, let's check out what happens when I'm playing the guitar standing up, okay? So, we all want to look cool when we're playing guitar, but it's also important to be comfortable, right? And it's important to have a correct posture in our left hand, especially, right? So, we all want to look like real cool when we're playing live. We want to look like, oh yeah, rock and roll. But a low guitar strap when you're playing standing up may be kind of cumbersome and not so good for your posture, because check it out. Look at the posture of your hand. Look at the angle of the wrist. This is going to produce a big strain in your tendons and your muscles. I know this looks really cool, like we're all rocking out. We look like really hardcore people, like, yeah, rock and roll. But our hand isn't going to be comfortable and it's going to strain our muscles. I usually prefer a much higher strap position. So, this is a guitar height, a strap height that works a lot better, because you're going to have a straight angle on your wrist, so you can play a lot more comfortably. Okay, so if you're a shredder, if you're a person that plays fast things in the guitar, it's better that you use a high strap position, especially if you're starting out and you're practicing. Maybe when you have your hands strong enough, you can lower your strap a little bit to look a little bit cooler. But it's important that you understand how important it is to have a right wrist angle. Okay, now remember, your legs. Your legs are very important when you're playing guitar, okay? So you have to avoid crossing your legs, because this is going to generate a spine twist, right? Your spine is going to start bending and you're going to start having back problems. So that's why this is important, and that's why it's important to be in a very solid and straight stance, so your spine is aligned with your body. Okay, I'm gonna give you now a little bit of pointers before we start digging into hand strengthening and other types of things that are very good for a healthy guitar playing posture. I'm gonna give you a little bit of tips. So I'm just gonna show you how some notes sound, because a very important thing in guitar playing is precision. You have to be very precise, right? So let's try the C note over here, okay? What happens if when you're picking with your right hand, maybe you're not as precise, and maybe you hit by accident another string? That doesn't sound cool, right? So I'm gonna let you in a little bit of tips, very easy tips, so you can have a cleaner style of playing. You can use your finger for muting the other strings in your guitar. Just like this, you're gonna press on the fret, right? And you're gonna use the rest of your finger to mute the other strings. And you can check it, right? This is the only one that's not muted. That way, if you're not as precise with your right hand yet, it can still sound cleaner. Different than, right? So you can always check it by playing the other strings, right? Like, that's muting the other strings, so you don't have to strain a lot to have a cleaner playing style. Okay, another advice is, remember, your wrist has to be straight. You have to avoid at all costs your wrist from bending, as I talked to you in about a while. That's why this playing position is so good, because your wrist is totally straight. Remember, there's another way that you can make your guitar playing cleaner, okay? You can use your right hand. This is even a technique used a lot by metalheads. That is muting the strings right here at the bridge, okay? So you can use your right hand and you can mute the strings that you're not playing. Even if my pick goes all the way down, that's the only note that's going to sound right there, that C note. So we need that position. We need to mute strings so we can have a cleaner way of playing. I'm going to let you in another little trick. That is the finger positioning in the fretboard, okay? This is a trick that's kind of very important when you're starting out, okay? So when you play close to the little metal line that's right here from the fret division right here, the closer you play to that fret division, the less strain you're going to put on your hand and the cleaner sound you're going to get. Check it out. I mean, that's not what you want, right? You want this. Ah, that's some clean sounding, beautiful note, right? And that's closer to the fret division, okay? Take that into account. The closest to the fret division, it's going to be a lot more precise. Another advice I'm going to give you is avoid bending the string. When you're measuring the strength of your hand, it's something that it's very difficult to take into account when you're starting, okay? So avoid moving the string like this or like that because you're gonna bend the note. It's a specific technique that's used in sometimes and some special genres, well, a lot of genres, but you don't want that sound because that's not your C, right? That may be a C sharp, but you need not to bend that string. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about picking, all right? We're going to talk a lot about these little buggers, and we're going to use them for picking our guitar and playing with our right hand, okay? So I'm going to show you a very simple technique so we can learn how to grab correctly the pick. The first advice I'm going to give you is you're going to use just your index finger and your thumb, okay? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to do the posture if you were grabbing an egg with your hand, kind of like this, right? So we're going to grab our pick right here with our index and our thumb, like so. I'm grabbing a little egg, okay? So another advice I'm going to give you is to use your wrist, okay? Remember, we don't use our arms when we're picking. We use our wrist, or sometimes even our finger, right? Depending on if we're going to use palm muting or we're going to use open strings, we're going to use chords. It all depends, okay? But in general, it's important for you to know you got to grab it like a little egg and you're going to start graduating the length of how in or how out you want the pick to be. But that depends, that's totally up to you. You've got to find what's comfortable for you, okay? So, for me, I use the pick kind of like this, all right? I use kind of this length of the pick for me, and for me, it works okay. So, I use it kind of like this. So now I'm going to show you what's in this magic box of picks of mine, okay? It's rusty, it's kind of old, beautiful nonetheless, and very useful. I like to have a little box like this. It's a mint box, so you can just find the one that suits you. And they even sell pick packs that have these little boxes, and they're pretty handy, and it's good to have them because, you know, it's pretty useful for you to go to a gig, and you know you can't leave your pick box at home. Because if you carry them in your wallet, maybe you leave your wallet, but you're never going to leave your pick box at home, right? Let's see, there's different styles of picks, okay? So I'm going to show you which ones I have over here. There's different, like, thicknesses of picks. There are different sizes of picks as well. So it's up to you and up to the musical style you're going to use to decide which pick you want to use, all right? So here, this is a Jazz 3 style pick. These are very small and they're very pointy. Okay, so these are very used for playing metal and jazz, obviously. Right? So these are pretty cool for playing like palm muting stuff and stuff like that. Here are more round-shaped picks, and they all come in different thicknesses. This is 0.73 millimeters, right? This is a very soft pick. You can tell by bending it a little bit. This is a beautiful pick for playing acoustic guitar, like acoustic country guitar, when you're doing a lot of open chords, like when you're doing that sort of playing, you use soft picks because it's better to do chords with this because the pick will slide easily over the strings, okay? That's what soft picks are used for. We also have these round shapes, thicker picks. This is .96. I like these for other styles of playing, like more rockabilly or even country, but when you're playing electric country guitar, if you want going to do something that sounds very picky and you want that pick to sound like really sharp, like good to have a thick pick too. All right, so it depends on the musical style you prefer and what you're gonna play. For metal playing and doing a lot of palm muting and heavy stuff, you can always use a pick like this one. Okay? A thicker pick is always very good for metal, okay? So this is kind of the different pick styles that there are in the world, but I would advise you to buy different thicknesses and styles of picks and try which one works better for you, okay? Because it's all about you. It's all about what's comfortable for you, how you feel good, how you feel more comfortable, because it's all about comfort. Remember, there's another important thing when you're starting to play, that is measuring the strength of your hand. You always have to be very kind to yourself, kind to your guitar, and kind to your body. Remember to use just the necessary strength for the string to sound, but don't strain your hand, because if not, remember, pro guitar players play 2 hours, 3 hours straight with no problems and no sore hands. And if you're going to go on tour, remember, if you're touring with your band, you're going to be playing every day. And if you're straining your hand and you're using too much force in your hand, you're going to get tired and you may even get sick. You may suffer from your tendons. You may suffer a lot of sicknesses that are related with overstraining your hands. So be very careful with the amount of force you're using to play. Okay, so here goes another very important advice for playing, and it goes like this. What do you mean? Why did you leave your guitar aside? Because it's very important to take breaks, okay? When you're practicing, for the same reason I just talked to you about hand straining, you have to take breaks. It's very important for you to be kind to your body. So I usually advise like practicing for half an hour straight, 50-minute break, half an hour straight, 50-minute break. That way, you won't strain your hands and you're going to be kind to your body and you're going to start building up that strength you need to play the guitar correctly. And you know what? You're going to have a lot of fun and you won't get hurt. That's very important, okay? So, I'll see you in the next lesson. Hey there, my fellow and beloved guitarists. How are you doing? I hope you had a good time learning a little bit about the basic guitar postures, okay? You know, I'm a man of my word. So, as I told you in the previous lesson, I'm going to talk a little bit about these babies, our hands. Because you know, our arms and our hands are the most important thing we have on our body to play guitar, right? So it's very important for you to know. I know we're not going to be doctors or anything like that, but I think it's pretty cool to know which bones, how does all this beautiful engineering work, you know? Because there are a lot of muscles, bones, tendons, and a lot of things that's going on in our hands for us to be able to move them like this and like this. We're going to do also a little bit of hand yoga, so stay tuned for that too. That comes up next. So let's go. So, first we're going to talk a little bit about the bones, okay? So, our hand has 29 bones. Can you believe that? There's 29 bones in our hand. I mean, this little part of our body, just this little part, has 29 bones. Come on, that's a lot of bones, right? So, I'm going to tell you which these bones are, all right? So, these are called phalanxes. All these phalanxes have like different names. This is called the distal phalanx, this is our middle phalanx, and this is our proximal phalanx, okay? Here, we have our metacarpal bones, all right? And here, we have our wrist bones or our carpal bones, right? And here, we have our radius and our ulva bones, okay? Here in our arm. Here we have our humerus, right? So it's very important for us to know and to identify and see all the beautiful anatomy we have in our hands. Because besides the bones, we also have muscular structure, all right? And we also have tendons, and we also have a lot of beautiful things inside here. So we're going to give it a little bit of a look, all right? So here, all this side is called our dorsal part of our hand. This is our dorsal part. And this is our palmar part of our arms and hands. All right, so first I'm going to talk about a little bit of what is in this dorsal part, talking about muscles and tendons, okay? So, here in this part, we have it's called the sheet of extensor tendons in this dorsal part because all the tendons of our hand are grouped here in our wrist, right? So here is where the sheet is, that is where all the tendons group up before they start going into our fingers, all right? Because that's what we've got to learn to control. You've got to learn to control all these muscles in order to become a good guitarist. And it's good to know what type of muscles and tendons we have because that's what you have to learn to control, man or girl. Okay? So, we've got a tendon for each one of our fingers. Here we have our interossei dorsal muscles, okay? These muscles are the ones that need a lot of strength for us to be able to do this. So this is a very important muscle for the technique of hammer-on and pull-off, because you're always got to do this, right? So check it out. You're moving that tendon quite a bit, okay? After our interossei muscles right here, we also have our extensor tendons right here. They do this. They help our hand do this motion. And our fingers, check it out, they're always moving when I do this. I hope you can see it there, right? So that's what the extensors do in our hand. And it's very important to strengthen them up. And, you know, in the next chapter, I'm going to show you how to get those muscles in shape and those tendons in shape and ready to move real fast, okay? Because we're kind of athletes. We're like hand athletes, okay? So, now we're going to talk about the palmar muscles, okay? That's all the muscles and tendons that are on the inside part, okay? So, here we have our opponent's pollicis, okay? All these muscles are good for opposing our thumbs, okay? That muscle is very important. This one over here, if you check it out, it's pretty muscular for me. So this muscle is very important because this is the muscle that's going to give us the girth and the strength to grab the bridge of our guitar, the fretboard of our guitar. We're going to grab it with that muscle, okay, right here. When that muscle gets tired, you got to be careful and you got to take a lot of care because you don't want that to happen. And if that happens, if any muscle in your hand starts hurting, you have to stop. It's time for you to take a break and have a good stretch. We're going to talk about some stretching exercises a little later on, okay? So, what else do we have here? Here we also have a set of tendons right here. But these are flexor tendons. All these are flexor tendons. And these tendons allow us to do this motion, right? Pretty important for guitar players, huh? So tensors are very important, so you gotta take care of those tendons. Be careful what you do with your hands. If you're a person that works a lot with the mouse, be careful because this can give you tendinitis. We don't want you to have tendinitis because then you won't be able to play the guitar. So if you work a lot on the computer, remember to take breaks and have some stretching exercises so you don't hurt your hands, okay? Because you gotta take care of those tendons and those muscles. You also have some interossei muscles right here inside your hand, which are going to be pretty good for the action of getting those fingers on those frets, okay? So remember, it's very important for you when you're playing guitar, it's always like grabbing a little egg. You have to do things kind of like this. So it's not very good for your hand health if you do this. So if your fingers start getting this kind of curvature, you're going to hurt your hands. You're going to hurt your bones. We don't want you to have any type of problems with your hands. We want you to be healthy, to be strong with your hands, okay? So be careful with that. The other thing that's very important is that at our fingertips, we guitarists, we form calluses, all right? It's very important. And this takes time. And maybe you're going to have some blisters at first, but it's important for you to be patient. And if you get blisters, don't go ahead and just pinch them with anything you find because it might get infected and it's dangerous for you. Okay, so if you can't stand it and if you can't take the anxious desire to pop that blister, remember to grab like a lighter or something and use a needle so you can cauterize the needle, and then you can pinch the thing. And always be hygienic. Use alcohol. Use anything that can make the make that procedure aseptic, right? So be very careful. We don't want you to have an infection, okay? So be very careful with your hands. You got to take care of them. Another important part is also your fingernails, you know? On the left hand, it's not very recommendable to have long nails. It's going to be very uncomfortable for you to play on the fretboard with long nails because it's always going to get in the way of the fret and the tip of your finger, because we always want to be playing with the very tippy toe of our fingers, because this part of our finger is only going to be used when we're doing bar chords. But on the rest of the time, we're going to use only the tips of our fingers. So it's very important to take care of our playing position so that we're always using the very tip of our finger and that we have done very nice calluses so we can play without discomfort. So always be patient with yourself when calluses are in the process of formation, right? Be patient. It may hurt you a little bit at first, but it's going to bring you a great big reward at the end. Okay? So that's that with hand anatomy. So we're going to talk a little bit about the tools that we need for a little bit of a hand anatomy exercise that we're going to do next. But that's on our next chapter. So see you in a bit. Hey there. Welcome to our hand yoga chapter. Okay? So, in this chapter, we're going to talk a little bit about some exercises in order to get our body ready for playing the guitar. Or even if you're already playing guitar, it's good because it's going to make your arms feel a lot lighter, you're going to have a lot more strength, and you're going to develop a lot more dexterity in your hands, which is very important, okay? So, we're going to need a very basic pair of tools, okay? So, I have these two towelies over here. This is one. And this is another. This is a hand towel. Pretty standard hand towels. And you're going to tell me, come on, teacher. Are you really going to give me some exercises to do with towels? That's right. And we're also going to use this very complex technology, advanced technology for hand exercises, a pillow. That's right, a pillow. So, we're going to check out some exercises to do with these three very simple elements. These exercises are going to help you to build guitar dexterity and hand dexterity for your arms, for your hands, for all the muscles and tendons in your hands are going to have a lot more force and are going to be a lot more developed. And you know what's going to help you too? Your brain is going to be able to connect with your hand a lot faster, because that happens a lot, you know? Because sometimes it even happens to me that I've been playing guitar for many years. Sometimes I think of stuff that I want to do with the guitar, but my fingers just won't connect with my brain. And I'm like, come on, be faster, man. I want to do faster stuff. But there is a solution for everything, so don't worry. We're going to do some exercises so we can get limbered up and get ready for playing some guitar, okay? First of all, we're going to start exercising our arms and our shoulders a little bit so we can chill out a little bit and relax, okay? So, remember, it's very important for you to have your spine lined up. So, sit down in a manner that you can be relaxed, where your spine can be aligned, okay? This is very important because if not, you're going to start hurting. You're going to start hurting your shoulders. You're going to start hurting your elbow, your arms. It's just not going to work okay, and you won't be able to breathe okay. Breathing is another very important part of the process. We're going to try to only breathe with our noses, okay? And we're going to start to try to take deep breaths. And these breaths, we're going to try to take them to our lower abdomen, okay? And we're going to try to breathe very deeply and slowly. Pay a lot of attention to your breathing. If you want, I invite you to close your eyes and start to think just about your breathing. So inhale very deep to your lower abdomen. Exhale slowly. Let's do this one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. There you go. I bet you're feeling a lot more relaxed already. So now, with that type of breathing, we're going to start exercising our shoulders a little bit, okay? So, remember, your spine aligned. We're going to stand tall, stand proud, and we're going to start using our shoulders. So, we're going to start going back with our shoulders and then to the front. Remember to breathe slowly. Shoulders go forward. First back, then up, and then forward. Do all the circular motion. All right, we're going to do 2 more. There we go. Now we're going to do it the same, but in a backwards motion, okay? Here we go. There we go. That's good. All right, now we're going to do again circular motions, but we're going to use our full arms, okay? So check that you don't have anything backwards or in front of you so you don't hit anything and hurt yourself, okay? Remember, be kind to yourself. Here we go. Take it slowly. I know this looks very simple, but what we're doing is we're going to get our body ready for the things that come ahead. Now, backwards, okay? Inhale when your arms are going up. Exhale when they're going down. Get that blood flowing. That's good. All right. Now we're going to do some more circles, but we're going to do it with our hands on our shoulders. Okay, here we go. Backwards first. Don't let your shoulders go up. Pay special attention that your shoulders remain down. Okay? Now we're going to change the course. For arms flowing. Go forward. There we go. I bet you got your blood flowing a lot better in your arms. All right, now I'm going to work another part that you're going to say, hey, but come on, teacher. Is that part of my body really that important for what we're going to do? Sorry to tell you, my little grasshopper, but that is true. All right? This next exercise is as good for your arms and these muscles over here near your shoulders and your neck, because this part is very important when you're doing anything with your arms or your hands. All right? And you know, this part of the body accumulates a lot of tension. So we're going to try to loosen ourselves up a little bit. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to put my mic forward. Okay? So this is what we're going to do. Remember, our stance is staring straight forward. You can put your hands on your lap, just like this. It's called, this is the Egyptian style meditation posture. Okay? So, we're going to do these little exercises with our head. And it's very important to take into account the breathing part. Okay? So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stare upwards to the ceiling. And remember, these exercises must be done with special attention to our breathing, and with the speed, it has to be very, very slow, because we need to be kind to our bodies, and our neck, bones, and muscles are oh so delicate. So do it with a lot of caution. Okay, so here we go. So first, we're going to exhale, letting our head down, looking to the floor. And then we're going to inhale, looking to the ceiling. And we're going to do this 3 times. There's always 3 cycles for each one of these exercises, okay? Here we go. Remember, your shoulders remain down. Remember to breathe to your lower abdomen. Exhale, looking downwards. And inhale, looking upwards. There you go. And now, next exercise, we're going to stare to our right, but our shoulders remain still. Okay, we only move our head, and we're going to inhale when we look to our right, And we're going to exhale when we look at the center. Then we're going to inhale, looking to our left. Exhale, looking to our center. 2 more times. Do it slow. Focus on your breathing. Do it slow. Be kind to your body. All right. Now, we are going to inhale and we're going to let our right ear touch our right elbow. And we're going to inhale at the center and exhale when my head goes to the side. Here we go. 3 cycles as well. Let your elbows remain down. Your shoulders remain down, sorry. Elbows too. Inhale at the center. Now we go to our left. Release that tension. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And now we're going to do a little bit of a circular motion. Pay special attention to do this very slowly and very gently, okay? Be gentle to your body. So first, we're going to exhale, looking downwards, and then we're going to rotate our head to the right, very slowly, remaining our shoulders down, okay? Relaxed. Here we go. We inhale when our head goes backwards. And exhale when we're back down. 2 more cycles. Now we're going to the other side, okay? Here we go. Three cycles as well. Now, we're going to do a little bit of strengthening. Okay? So, first, what I want you to do is to stretch your fingers out front like you're pushing it on a wall. All right? Do your best to spread your fingers outwards. Okay? Then, what you want to do is to grab them back inside you and do a great big fist and do a lot of strength inside you like this. That's right. Maintain there for 5 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5. Back out. 1. Open those fingers. Come on, don't be lazy. 2, 3, 4, 5. Back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back in. Hey there, shredders and shredderettes. Welcome back to your Mega Guitar Course. So glad to see you again. And I hope you had a good time limbering up and strengthening up your hands and your arms so you can start getting ready to play your guitar correctly. Right? I really like it when you start strengthening your hands because you get a lot faster, you can play more precisely. It's really, really healthy for your hands, right? So in this lesson, we're going to keep on strengthening our hands and making them faster. And we're also going to learn a couple of things about hand position, like remember we're like squeezing a little egg in our hands like this. Remember we've always have to have an arch in our hands like this. And this exercise is really good so we can really keep an eye on how we're playing. And that's what I want you to keep some special attention to, right? So remember, our thumb is preferably in all the half of our fretboard, right? And remember, it's also a healthy habit to have our thumb like in the half or where all our fingers are, kind of like this. Why is that? Well, it's very easy. It's physics, mechanics, whatever you want to call it. Because basically, what we need is a support point, a pivot point, and that's what we've got with our thumb. Okay, so if our thumb is on the half, in the middle of our fingers, we're going to have the same strength for our pinky than for our index and our 2 middle fingers as well, right? So try not to let your thumb be too much on this side or too much on this side, because it's going to feel awkward and you're going to feel your hand is weak, and it's not. You're a strong person. Don't forget that. Okay? So, the exercises we're going to do are very important for our left hand, but we're also going to work a little bit on our right hand. So remember, we've got the egg right here and we've got another egg right here, right? Like we're squeezing a little ball, right? So we're going to also work with our pick, and we're going to do a little bit of alternate picking. We're going to talk a little bit more of the specifics of alternate picking in a following chapter. But right now, we're going to talk a little bit about how to do some picking in the alternate fashion, okay? So basically what we're going to do is going to play one note downward and one note upward, okay? And basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a spider practice. It's called spider exercises. Why a spider? Because our hand becomes like a little spider moving around the fretboard, kind of like this. Scary spider, huh? Okay, so there are 2 ways of doing this spider exercise, okay? The first one is the most basic way of doing the spider exercise, which is you go 1, you go 2, you go 3, you go 4, then you lift your fingers and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift your fingers and 1, 2, 3, 4. You lift your fingers and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the easy way, and that's the first one we're gonna do. Okay, so come on, play with me. 2, 3, 4. Don't worry if you make a mistake. Mistakes are made to make us play better. Work with those muted strings. Don't let another finger mute your other string. There you go. So that would be your first exercise. You can release your fingers, and remember, it's always good to give yourself a little bit of a stretch each time you finish a little bit of those spider exercises. Okay? So, I'm going to show you how to give yourself a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a basic stretch while you're doing your exercises, okay? So, I want you to let your guitar go one sec. I'm going to put our baby right here. There you go. No worries there. So, we're just going to put our hand in front, just like this, and oh, that's delicious. That's a nice stretch. Remember to grab your thumb as well. There you go. Breathe deeply and slowly. That's going to oxygen your muscles, okay? That's right. Now let it go. There you go. Now we're going to do the same but with our flexor muscles and tendons. Kind of like this. These exercises are a little bit demanding, but they're so good for your fingers. And they're good because they make you play cleaner. We all make mistakes. You heard me. I made a couple of mistakes while I was doing the exercise, but you're better than me. I think you can do a lot better. So now I'm going to show you this other stretching exercise that's very good for our thumb and for this opposing muscle we have here, okay? So I want you to stretch out your hand like this. You're going to put down your thumb. You're going to close your fist right here. You're going to twist your hand, and you're going to pull it towards you, and you're going to help yourself with your other hand. Oh, man, that stings a little bit, but that's so good. You're going to love it when you let it go. There you go. And remember, let it go softly. Remember, be gentle to your body. There you go. Be kind to yourself, but come on, don't be sloppy and don't be lazy. Remember to do your exercises, okay? All right, there we go. Now we stretched out a little bit. I think we can do that exercise again. But now, this time, I want you to do it just like I did it. The last one, you did it like just putting your fingers up like, no worries. But this one, I want you to do it in another fashion, in another way. I mean, there's ways of doing things, and there's ways of doing things, right? So, the next way I'm going to show you is you're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, and the finger you're going to move is only the finger that is going to play in the next string, like this. You're going to only move that finger. It's going to sting a little bit. It's going to sting a little bit, but I think you're going to like it, you know? So, here goes nothing. 2, 3, 4, and... Don't let your other fingers mute your strings. Try to maintain the same volume on all notes. Come on, I believe in you. This is Jedi training. False note. Always room for improvement. Slow is always harder, you know. I'm used to do this a lot faster. Work on your right hand too. Measure that strength. Try talking at the same time. See how it works for you. There you go. That's a good guy and a good gal. So proud of you. Because you're making your hands work out and your fingers work out. I want you to do this exercise with all the frets of your guitar. Okay, so remember, it's always good to have a nice stretch right after you've done each one of these spider exercises. This is with a metronome at 60 BPM. If you want to do this outside the lesson, which would be my pride and honor if you do, so please do it, but do it with a metronome at 60 BPM. There's a lot of free metronome apps in your cell phone. You can download them totally for free. There are millions of them out there for every operating system you have on your phone or even on your computer. You can find it on any platform. It's very easy to find a metronome, 60 BPM, in a 4x4 signature. It's all very simple, okay? So just try to stretch out those fingers, make them stronger, work them out, and come on, try to work with yourself. I mean, teaching yourself isn't gonna be an easy task, but it's all right here, you know? It's very important for you to have the mental attitude of a winner, the mental attitude of a person that wants to get things accomplished. Because, you know, half of the people that start studying guitar, they just drop it out. You know why that is? Because they don't see results fast. You're not going to see results fast. Sorry to ruin this for you, but if you want to see results fast, you got to practice daily. So, remember, it's all about your psychological attitude. You can do it. You are a strong person. Okay, so believe in yourself, believe in your hands. If you have working hands and a working brain, you can do this. You can play the guitar. You can do this perfectly. And don't let yourself get frustrated so easily. Come on. We're all winners here. We're warriors. We're guitar samurais. All right, so see you in the next lesson. Hey there, guys and gals, and welcome back to your Mega Guitar Course, made specially with you with much love. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about the notes in the guitar, because it's important. I mean, I know this seems like, hey, but come on, it's a little bit slow, but it's very important for you to know what notes you're playing, because, you know, I could teach anyone to be like a campfire player. But I don't want you to be a campfire player. I want you to be the next big pro guitarist, okay? So that's why I want you to know exactly what note you're playing and what exactly you're doing, okay? So that's what this part of the course is all about, okay? And that's why it's called the Guitar Note Cheat Sheet, okay? And this is what we've got here, but first, I want to make a little bit of a clarity with you guys. Because for me, it's very important for you guys to know, like, the universe of notes that we have. Okay, maybe you know this, but maybe you don't. And maybe if you know it, you don't know how to translate that to the fretboard and how to make a map. Okay? So, let's see. Let's check this. So, our universe of notes, as you know, is we've got C, we've got D, we've got E, we've got F, we've got G, Got A, got B, and we've got your C again, right? That's our notes universe. So, the distances between these notes may vary and may be a little bit different. And this is what we need to know. It's like the distance between the planets. We need to know it, right? So, it's because it's the universe that it's the language we'll be talking. So, it's very important for me that you know what this is all about. So this is all our natural notes, okay? But there are some notes that have some alterations, and that depends on the distance between these notes. So these distances are never going to change. They've been the same for centuries, and they're not going to change anytime soon. So let's check that out. So between C and D, now we're going to have two types of distances, which sometimes are going to be a full step, and then some are going to be half steps. When they're full step, we're going to have an F, and when they're half step, we're going to put an H. It's that easy, that simple, right? So between C and D, we've got a full step. Okay? And, parenthesis, in the guitar it's even easier because each fret is going to be a half step. It's so easy. Okay? So between C and D, we've got a full step. Between D and E, we've got again a full step. E and F, we've got a half step. F and G, we've got a full step. G and A, we've got a full step. A and B, full step. And between B and C, we've got a half step. It's that simple. We've got only two half steps there, right? It shouldn't be so hard to learn. It's just between E and F and between B and C. They're the only two half steps in this musical system, okay? But it's important to have one clarity and to know one thing, because between these two notes, we have a full step between these two. That means that there is another note in between these two. So there's a note that's half a step up from C, and that's the same note that's half a step down from D. So that sounds easy. Okay, let me know a little bit more about that. So I'm going to show you two alterations that are going to help us give those distances and are going to help us know those notes that are here in between. There are two alterations. One that's called sharp, which we symbolize like this, doesn't mean hashtag, okay? And we've got our flat. Sharp, flat, okay? Sharp, what sharp is going to do is going to add half step. And what flat is going to do is going to subtract half a step. So easy, right? So I will say it like this way, because, there's people that like to see a glass of water, they like to see it half full. And some people like to see it half empty when it's in the middle, right? But you got to learn to see it both ways, because it depends a little bit on the circumstance what name we're going to give each note. But these notes that are in between these half steps are going to have two names, okay? They're going to have a name with a sharp and a name with a flat, okay? So, between C and D, it's called enharmonics. So, between C and D, we've got a note that has two names. It's called C sharp, or it's called D flat. Easy, right? Between D and E, same story. So, if I want to see the glass half full, I can say this is a D sharp. And if not, I can say, come on, this is no other thing but an E flat. So easy. But here between E and F, I have a half step, so there's no note here in between, right? No enharmonic. So we've got F and we've got G, and there's a full step. So there's a note between these two guys that has two names, and it's called F sharp, or it's called G flat. And between G and A, I've got another full step, so I've got another note, right? It can be called G sharp, or it can be called A flat. It's that easy. And between A and B, once again, got a full step. So what I got there, easy. It can be an A sharp, or it can be a B flat. And that's that. That's my whole universe. Those are 12 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's that easy. Those are the 12 notes in our universe of notes. And that's what we're gonna check out in the guitar. Here we've got our guitar. And as you know, each of these strings has a name. Okay, so this is E. Our first string is E. Our thinnest string, this is E. This is B. This is G. This is D. And this is A. And this is E again. So those are the 6 strings of our guitar. And those are the 6 strings that us samurais use to do our bidding, right? So we've got each one of our frets gives us a half step ahead, okay? So let's see. Our first string is called E. Half a step up from E, I've got F. So that means that in the first step, the first fret of my first string, I'm gonna have an F. It's that easy, right? But between F and G, there is indeed a full step. So I've got a note in between. If this is F, this is definitely G, because you know 2 frets is a full step. Here in between, I've got that enharmonic that can be F sharp or G flat, right? It's that easy, fellas. So, what I want you guys to do, I shared with you here in the course, you got a material, which is a spreadsheet. I mean, you're going to tell me, come on, teacher, are you going to make us fill a spreadsheet? That sounds so boring. That's like for engineers or people who work with numbers. We don't work with numbers. Well, sorry to break this to you, but we do. We do work with numbers because we've got to work with the number of the fret. We've got to do work with the number of the string. We've got to work with half steps, full steps. We've got to work with sevenths. We're going to work with thirds, fifths, 13ths, ninths. Numbers, a lot of numbers. We've got to crunch some numbers in our brains, right? So here you've got a table where you can see each one of the strings, and what I want you to do, samurais, Jedis, or whatever you like to be, is I want you to fill this chart with each note that you're going to have on each string and on each fret. This is going to be so useful to you because you're going to be able to do the following exercise, okay? Following exercise is going to sound a little bit easy, but it's not easy at all, because if you check out the second page in the spreadsheet, it's called Random Note Exercise. Okay, and you're going to say, whoa, random note exercise, what the hell is that all about? And I'm going to tell you. The random note exercise has a series of notes that are not in any specific order. It's no scale. It's absolutely no funny stuff, okay? So, first, I want you to do this without the metronome. I want you to just explore and try to find where the notes are. And you know, the guitars, usually electric guitars and some acoustic guitars too, have some dots. I don't know if you see those dots over there. You've got a dot in the first fret, in the third, the fifth, the seventh, the ninth, and you've got the 12th fret, you've got a double dot. And what the friggin' God does that double dot mean? Well, double dot means octave. That means that in this 12th fret is a groundbreaker, because here the guitar is going to start all over again. So if here I've got an F in my first fret, it's like in this 12th fret, it's the octave of each string. So if this is an E, this is an E, this is a B, this is a B, G, G, D, D, A, E, E. And the 12th fret, I've got all the octaves of my strings, okay? Pretty simple. So that means if here's my F in my first string, so in my 13th fret would be the first fret again, I've got another F. So here's a G, here's a G. So it just shouldn't be so hard, because if you learn until the 12th fret, from the 12th fret up, you just repeat everything you already did. So there's a little trick you can use when you're starting to find your notes. Okay, so the first exercise I want you to do is to start finding E. Okay, so why E? Because it's our first and sixth string, so it's important to know where your E's are. Okay, so let's see. If I'm on the sixth string, I've got an E here, and as I just told you, I've got another E on my 12th fret. If this was a 24th fret guitar, I'd have another E in my 24th fret, but I don't have that fret, so it's cool for me. I've just got 2 E's on my 6th string, okay? Now let's check out our 5th string, which is an A. So I've got A, I've got B, I've got C, I've got D. Oh, there you go. Here's an E. And where can I have another E? So this is the 7th fret on my 5th string. So this is 12th, and this is 7th fret has a dot. And it's the 1, 2, 3, 4th dot. So I should have like... Oh, there you have it. Just as I told you. If I know the first octave, I know the second octave so easily. So there you go. There's another E. So what about my 4th string? There you go. Okay, here's an E. Well, same thing. 2nd fret, 12th string, 12th fret, 1, 2, 2 frets. There you go. There's another E. Okay, so this string is a G. Okay? So, E, F, G. So I think it's easier if I count from my 12th fret backwards, because E is closer if I count backwards. So E, F, G, I've got G. From F to G, I've got a full step, and I've got an E half step backward, right? So there you go. There you have another E. Okay, so what about the 2nd string? Okay, let's see. This is B, C, D, E. There you go. That wasn't so hard, so let's see. Do I have another octave? Yes, 12th fret. It was the 5th fret, right? So this should be my 2nd dot. There you go. There's another E. And what about the 1st string? It's going to be the same as the 6th, right? Because it's the same note of the string. So it's E and E. That's so simple. Now what I want you to do is I want you to download any metronome app and to have a metronome at 60 and start looking for each of these notes and chasing them. The metronome is gonna start playing with your brain, and he's gonna ask you for those octaves quickly. So you gotta be like, oh, where's the next E? Oh my God, oh come on, oh, E, E, oh, E, 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 oh. You're gonna be racing against the metronome, but that's gonna ask a lot from your brain, because you are a Jedi and a samurai and a magician and whatever you like, but you do it with your guitar. And once you do these exercises, you're gonna be able to pinpoint any note whenever you want, and you're gonna be so precise. Everyone's gonna be like, whoa, this guy's so fast. All right, so we're gonna do the note identification for E. And you're gonna do all the rest, because you gotta work for this. You gotta work to be able to identify your notes, because it's gonna be very important for the rest of the course, okay? Here we go. 2, 3, 4, E, and... So there you go. That was the example for E. Okay, so now I want you to do this with all the notes in the fretboard, all the notes in our system, all the notes in our planetary note system. Okay, so you got to do C, you've got to do then the enharmonic, which is C sharp or D flat, then you got to do D, then you got to do D sharp or E flat, then you got to do E, then you got to do F, you got to do F sharp or G sharp, then you got to do G, then you got to do G sharp or A flat, and then you got to do A, then you got to do A sharp or B flat, then you got to do B, and then you got to do C. Okay, but I don't want you to do them in that order. I want you to randomize it and do it in any order you want. That's why in the sheet you've got in the second page, you can see there's already an order, a random order there that you can follow. It's even better because you didn't do it, so you don't know what's there, and you can be surprised because any note can be there. So it's pretty cool, and I think it's going to be real fun for you, and it's really a challenge to find that with the metronome, and it's going to play with your brain a little bit, and it's going to be good for exercising that brain and those hands, right? And besides all that, the metronome is going to help you keep the beat. Okay, so remember, every time you're practicing, do it with a metronome. It's very healthy to work with a metronome because it's going to get your beat a lot better, okay? So, I guess I'll see you guys in the next lesson.
Hi again! Congrats on getting this far! I hope you're enjoying this tutorial and already starting to see some great results. If you want to get the extended version of the course, go to skillademia.com where you will find the full beginner to advanced guitar Megacourse with more than 200 lectures and many more techniques and guitar styles to learn. Now, let's continue.
Hey there, guys and gals. Welcome back to your Mega Guitar course. Remember, this course is specially made for you guys to become pro guitarists and go tour the world. Know the world with a guitar in your back. That's what we're here for, okay? So, before we go backpacking with our guitar, I want you guys to warm up very well and to get your hands to be very strong and get ready for the world of touring, the world of recording, the world of playing your guitar for a lot of people, okay? So, we're going to do an exercise today. We already did a little bit of warm-up and a little bit of hand strengthening, but today we're going to do this with a little bit of rhythm. Okay, we're going to put some rhythm into those warm-up exercises, and we're going to learn a little bit of rhythmic figures and patterns, okay? So, we're going to be using 4th notes, 8th notes, 16th notes. We're going to use 4th note triplets, 8th note triplets, and 16th note triplets as well. And we're going to mix them up as we do the spiders. These are called rhythmic spiders. Okay, so we're going to do the spiders, but we're going to mix up those rhythmic figures. And you hope you can keep up. So check out the tablature right here. You can follow me and do the exercise with me, okay? So let's get on this guitar wagon. 2, 3, 4. 4th notes. 4th note triplets coming up. Sixteenth note triplets coming up. Back to 4th notes. 16th note triplets coming up. Still 4th notes. This is 8th notes. Back to 4th notes. was 16th notes. 16th note triplets coming up. Back to 4th notes. Eighth notes coming up. Back to 4th notes. 16th notes coming up. There you go. How hard was that? I bet it challenges your brain a little bit and makes you think about the figures before you do them. I hope you understood the figures. And we're going to do a little bit of what I tell you every time we're practicing. And we've talked about this a lot. We're going to stretch a little bit before we continue. All right, so first of all, we're going to do a normal palmar stretch right here. Remember, breathe deeply, relax, take it easy. It's always important to stretch a little bit while we're practicing, okay? But that feels good. There we go. Let's let go of our hand very slowly. There you go. Now we're just going to stretch our thumb, okay? Because our thumb does a lot of the support for the other fingers. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that feels so good. You know, that thumb has got to work really hard. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's so good. Hope you like it. Now, we're going to do this one. Palm stretching right out. Thumb goes in. Put your hand into a fist. Turn it again. And towards you. And let's stretch that hand. This is a dorsal stretch. There we go. Breathe deeply. There we go. Let's disarm that position and loosen up a little bit, okay? All right, we already stretch out a little bit. It's important, remember to stretch out between warm-ups. That way you won't strain your hand. Because remember what I tell you always about touring. When you're touring, you have to take care of your hands. You can't use too much force in your hand because you're going to strain it and you're going to hurt yourself. We don't want that. We want you to have a good hand health and we want you to be fast and a good guitarist, okay? So now, we're going to do the same exercise, but we're going to speed it up a little bit. We're going to do it at 70 BPM this time. That's 10 BPM more than the last time, okay? So, let's see how this goes. 10 more. It's going to be a little bit rougher, but nonetheless, we're going to try and do this. We can do this. We're warriors. 2, 3, 4. Eighth note triplets. Eighth notes. coming up. Okay, so that was 70 BPM, and we're gonna keep on speeding things up a little bit so we can get faster and we can do things better each time. That's what playing guitar is all about. It's about discipline, it's about self work, it's about self love, about, taking care of your body, being kind to your body, and being kind to your guitar too. Okay? So I'll see you in the next lesson. Hey there, guys and gals! Welcome back to the Mega Guitar Course. Hope you're having a great time, and I hope you've been warming up and exercising those fingers. Okay? It's very important for you, so we can play guitar like pros. And as I always say, go touring around the world with your guitar in your back. That's what we want. Okay. So, this lesson is all about hammering on and pulling off. That's hammering on and pulling off. There's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with this. I mean, hammering on and pulling off is one of the neatest tricks you can do in the guitar. And it's all about guitar ability, and it's all about being kind of sneaky, Guitarists can be pretty sneaky people, So, hammering on and pulling off, what's this all about? Well, basically, what you do when you hammer on and you pull off, what you do is you play with your right hand once, and with your left hand, you're doing all the rest of the movement. Basically, you're making the notes sound with your left hand, or at least most of them. So that's basically what we're doing when we're hammering on and pulling off. So we're doing kind of this motion. Remember when we did the oppositions? Those oppositions are really great for hammering on and pulling off, right? So this is basically what we do. So we grab the string, and we want to really use some force with our finger, because I'm just going to play once. Here, I'm hammering on and pulling off, and you see my right hand. Look, Ma, no hands. Sorry, no right hand. But we've got to learn to do this with all of our fingers, okay? So this is what this exercise is all about. So, let's check it out. Here we go. Hammer it on. And pull it off. Just hammering on coming up. Get those notes sounding. Now just pulling off. Hammering on and pull off. Mixing finger combinations. Just pulling off. Be aware of your posture. That's the first fret. The ideal is to do it in all the frets of the guitar, right? But first we're going to start with the first fret, right? First thing first. But come on. I think we can do this a little bit faster. So this was 80 BPM. I think we can do it. How about 90? Here we go. 3, 4. Hammer on with me. Pull off 2. Get those notes sounding loud and proud. Get those fingers working out. Hammer it on. Pull it off? Ha ha ha! Try to get a cleaner sound each time. Don't hit any other strings. Hey, you're doing great. You know I can see you guys right through the screen, right? I'm checking you guys out. And I think you're doing so good, I think you can do even faster. So come on, let's do this at 90. Sorry, that was 90. Let's do this at 100. Here we go. 3, 4. Pull it off. Mix up those fingers. Get that pinky working. I think we can do 110. Let's try this. 2, 3, 4. Hammer it on. Pull it off. Get that pinky working. Get it to sound louder. Hey, you're doing great. I think we can do one last one at 120 BPM. So this is gonna cost you a little bit, so you better give yourself a little stretch once you're done. 2, 3, 4. Don't bend the string. Remember muting the strings. So I hope you had a good time practicing these hammer-on and pull-offs, because these are going to be very useful tools for playing the guitar. You're going to have a lot of fun afterwards playing some pretty nasty licks with these techniques. So come on, I hope you're as excited as I am to continue with this mega guitar course, you guitar warriors. See you in the next one. So, hey there, how you going? Glad to have you all back. I hope you had a good time with the previous exercises. Hope you're doing good with your practices. Bet that left hand is already really strong and ready to go touring, right? I hope it is. Hope you're doing really good with these exercises. Remember to always stretch. Remember to find a daily exercise routine that you like. Mix around the exercises. Do the best you can. Try to practice every day and you'll see how you will get better each day. And I can bet on it, if you give it a month, practicing every day, you're going to see the difference very easily. Believe me. All right. Today, we're going to leave our left hand to rest a little bit, and we're going to work on this baby a little bit, our right hand, okay? Because, you know, this is the mega guitar course we made for you, so it's very, very important for us to have our both hands ready for anything we need. Because maybe your style is finger picking, maybe your style is hybrid picking, maybe your style, you can have any kind of style you like. But in order to find out, you got to know them all, right? So today we're going to limber up our hand, our right hand a little bit, and we're going to do some very simple exercises to get our right hand ready and going, right? So if we want, we can do any style of playing we like, because that's what we want. We want you to be a versatile guitarist. Okay, that's why you chose the Guitar Megacourse. Good for you. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our three fingers. We're going to use our thumb, we're going to use our index finger, and we're going to use our middle finger. Or, if you like, you can also try some hybrid picking. You can use the pick in your index and thumb, and you can use your middle and ring finger to play the other strings. But I prefer to do it with a thumb because we've been playing a lot with the pick lately, and I would love for you to try another technique and another style of playing. It's very important for you to become versatile and to have your hand ready for anything that blows up. Okay? So, here we go. The exercise is very simple. Okay? We're gonna basically change the way we play with our three fingers. All right? So, we're gonna move around the strings and we're gonna do kind of this exercise. Okay? So, you're gonna do your thumb, your index, and your middle finger. Then you're gonna switch to the next string. You're gonna do thumb, index, middle finger. And then on the next string, thumb, index, middle finger. Then the next string, thumb, index, middle finger. All right, and then we're gonna do some variations. Then we're gonna do thumb, middle finger, index finger. Then we're gonna do the same, moving around the strings. All right. And remember, we always have different types of speeds we work with. Today, we're going to work first with our 60 BPM. You know why I choose 60 BPM? I'm going to let you in on that little secret. I use 60 BPM for beginners because it's the speed of our heart rate. Like, kind of in the middle of what a heart rate should be is around 60 BPM. So it's pretty easy for us to get synced with this time. All right? So here we go. I'm not going to use my left hand. I'm going to leave my left hand alone. Okay, so here we go. We're going to try this at 60 BPM and see how we do. So we're going to do a E major chord, this one. And we're going to use this chord to do our exercise. We're not going to move it at all. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to change it around. 2, 3, 4. A little mistake there, but no worries. All right, so here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're gonna switch it around a little bit. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're gonna do both. 1 and 1. We're gonna switch it around. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we're gonna mix them up. There you go. That sounds very simple, right? That would be our first exercise at 60 BPM. But you know, I always want to get the best out of you. So now we're gonna speed it a little up a bit. What do you think? Let's do it. I know you want to. So now we're gonna do it at 70 BPM. Here we go. Now the mix up. There we go. I bet you're getting good at this. I can sense it. I'm watching you. You know I'm always watching on you guys. So now we're going to do it at 80 and see how we do. Three, 4. mix up. Hey, you're doing great! I bet you can do it even a little bit faster. I believe in you guys, as well as you should too. Let's do this at 90. Hey, that's good. 2, 3, 4. Now the mix up. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's getting kind of fun, right? All right. I think we can do it at 90 BPM because I know you guys are doing great. So let's go for it. All right, the other one. 2, 3, 4. All right, now the mix up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, that's sounding pretty cool. I really believe in you guys, you know? I think we can do it at 100. Let's do it. All right, now the other one. 2, 3, 4. Right, now the mix up. Hey, that's very good. Remember, your right hand always has to have a support point, right? So always put the palm of your hand near to the bridge, somewhere you can support your hand on, because if your hand is flying over the bridge and you're like this, you're probably going to have some issues, okay? So I think you can do this at 110. Come on, guys and gals, let's go. All right, now the other one. 2, 3, 4. Very well. Now the mix-up. 2, 3, 4. Hey, you're doing pretty darn good. I'm really proud of you guys. This is great that you're doing so good. I think we can even do this at 120. Well done. 2, 3, 4. All right, now the mix up. 2, 3, 4. Hey, that's pretty good. I'm really proud of you guys. This exercise can be done as fast as you can do it. Remember, always ask a lot more of yourselves. I mean, this is like ninjutsu training, karate training, gym training, any way you like it. We're like sports people. We're like people who are athletes. We're hand athletes, right? So my advice for you is to practice as much as you can and ask the most of yourselves. I mean, if you can do it 120, go ahead, speed it up 10 more. Do 130, 140, 170, and maybe next you can even grab a banjo and start playing along and doing some licks. So, this is my advice for you, and I hope to see you on our next video. Have a good time and strum along. Hey there, welcome back. I bet you're ready for some more warming up. I know it seems like a lot, but it's very important for us to get a lot of speed and strength in our hands and to check that we're playing with the correct technique, all right? So, we're going back to the warm-up exercises, but we're going to do them a little bit faster. All right, we're going to keep on doing them with different figures, but since we're doing it faster, there are some figures which we're not going to use. Like 16th notes are going to be, and 16th note triplets also are going to be a little bit more complicated to do at this speed. So we're just going to do 4th notes and 8th notes and triplets of both. All right? So, are you ready? 130 BPM. We can do this. We're warriors. There we go. That was 130 BPM. That's got us sweating a little bit, right? Come on, I think we can do even better. Let's give ourselves a little stretch. There we go. Your thumb. go. Now your dorsal. All right. Let's have a leap of faith and do this at 140. We can do this. Woof, there we go. That's taking the juices out of me, you know. I hope it's taking the juices out of you too. Because if we want to be guitar players, we got to be up to the challenge, right? So come on, I think we can do this. Let's give ourselves a little stretch and let's do this at 150. You ready? Right, remember to get your thumb. All right, remember to do your dorsal. There you go. Feel that stretch. All right, now loosen up your muscles and tendons a little bit. There we go. All right, my dear warriors, I think we can do 150 and maybe even 160. Let's try this. Come on. Don't be afraid. The worst thing that can happen is you make a mistake, right? So believe in yourself and have patience with your hands. Be patient with yourself. All right? Here we go. 150. That's gonna take out some elbow grease, right? That's great. I really like that little sting because it makes me feel alive, right? If your hand hurts a little bit, remember always stretch out. So I hope you enjoyed this rapid fire warm up for the last part of this warm up exercise. Wow, that's pretty damn rough. Took the elbow grease out of me. Hope you had a good time. Have a good practice. Practice every day. And don't forget, you're gonna do it great. It's all about the mental attitude about practice. Remember, it's gonna get a lot funner, and in no time, we're gonna start playing some songs and checking out some guitar styles and some really cool riffs and stuff to play, okay? See you in the next video. Hey there, guys and gals. Welcome back to this beautiful mega guitar course made specially for you guys, so you can become pro guitarists. Good to have you guys back. I hope you recovered successfully from our previous warm-up lesson, which was some elbow grease, some effort so we can get faster, better, stronger. All right, so now we're gonna keep working on those hammer-ons and pull-offs. Remember, we did our first hammer-on and pull-off exercises. This one is gonna make us build up more speed for our hammer-ons and pull-offs, right? So let's give it a whirl. This is gonna be 130 BPM. The last one we did was 120, and I think we can push the limit a little bit further, okay? So here we go. Bet you're feeling that. I bet you're feeling a lot faster and a lot stronger with your hands. So we're gonna do this at 140. You ready? Here we go. There you go, that was 140. I bet we can do more. Let's do 150. All right, doing good. I think we can do it 160. So let's go, Warriors. There you go. I bet you feel a little bit of warmth in your hands. I bet you feel a little bit of a sting. Remember to stretch out, remember to feel good, remember to maintain a correct mental attitude about practice. Always stay positive, always stay believing in yourself, and believe me, these exercises are going to get you far. You just have to believe in yourself, and you just have to believe that these exercises will make you faster, will make your hands stronger, and they're gonna prepare you for playing the guitar as you should. Hey there, welcome back to this guitar course. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you understand that the exercises we've done so far, I know it seems a little bit tedious, but it's very important for you guys to have strong hands and fast hands before we start getting our teeth into some guitar playing, some serious guitar playing. You know why? Because I don't want you guys to feel frustrated. I want you to feel motivated, and I want you guys to when you start with the playing exercises, when we start with scales, we start to see some musical styles. I want you to be up for the test. I want you to be strong people to do this, warriors ready to play any genre in the world. And that's why it's important for you to have strong hands, because I've had a lot of people, and I've taught guitar for many years, and I've seen a lot of people get very frustrated because they feel so weak. They say like, "Oh man, I would love to play guitar, but my hands are dumb. I would love to play guitar, but my hands are weak." But I think that's a bunch of excuses. Because all you need to know are these basic exercises for you to strengthen up your hands and get them ready. Get them ready to play some rock and roll, play some gypsy, play some jazz, any genre you like. You just need to strengthen your hand to get yourself ready to play any music you like. And it's important to exercise our left hand and our right hand as well. But today we're going to talk about some very good friends of mine. I carry my good friends in this box over here. It's filled with little picks, And these picks are really cool because I have different sizes and different gauges of picks, because for me it's very important to have different tastes, different flavors of picks, because it affects the tone of the guitar more than you would imagine. And also the playing style, the playing style depends on what pick you're going to use, if you're going to use a pick at all, right? Because you can also have playing styles where you won't use your pick, or you can use playing styles where you're going to use your pick and your fingers. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of picking styles and some exercises to do with these picking styles, all right? So, first of all, I'm going to use this very thin pick. This is a very thin pick, Check it out. This pick is very malleable. This pick, you can bend it very easily. And that's very good for some rhythmic styles, right? Some not so lead styles and maybe not so heavy styles. But it's good for very rhythmic, soft styles, right? Because it's going to bend very easily. And it's going to make it very easy to strum your guitar because it's going to go from one string to the other very easily. Right? As very different if you use a hard pick. Right? It's going to, hey, where do you think you're going with me, man? Right? Hard picks are for other styles and for other techniques of playing. Okay. So it's different styles of playing you use with different types of picks. All right? So, first we're going to talk about this very rhythmic style of playing. So, we're basically doing everything on E today because we're just going to talk about picking. All right? So, don't worry too much about what we're going to do on the left hand. It's going to be important, but we're going to look a little bit more over that when we start talking about specific styles. All right? And we're not going to talk about styles yet. Well, we're going to brush them over a little bit because, techniques are very related to the styles we're going to play. For example, I'm going to do an E major chord, this one. Right? It's very easy. It's a very simple chord, okay? And I'm just going to start strumming. I'm going to play a metronome at 120. This is a very simple style of picking. And it's the first one I want you guys to try, okay? I want you to play a metronome like this, and I want you to just start strumming like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to play the 6th string, and then you're going to strum away the rest of the strings like this. It's very, very simple, right? So we're going to do that with the metronome, okay? Sounds simple, right? So now we're gonna add a little bit more to this style of picking, okay? So we're gonna do So we're going to do 2 strums one time and 1 strum the other. All right? I'm going to put the metronome a little bit slower so we can see that exercise with a little bit more time and patience. We're going to put it in our old reliable 60 BPM. All right, let's check that out. 3, 4, and... All right, so I want you to check it out. When I'm strumming, I'm playing the 6th string only. Then I'm strumming away, downwards, right? I'm strumming downwards. And the next time, I'm strumming downwards and upwards. All right, and what I want you to do is I want you to play this ever so slowly at 60 BPM. And I want you to check it out, and I want you to be as precise as you can and to maintain with your right hand the same amount of force in every strum, so it sounds consistent, okay? This is very important when we're playing guitar. So here we go. 2, 3, 4, and... There you go. So that's a very simple style of strumming. Now we're gonna even give it a little bit more of notes. Now we're gonna do it double both times. See how that goes. 2, 3, 4, and... Right, there we go. That's a little bit harder, but nevertheless, it can be very interesting when we start to learn chords and we start checking chords. You can even do a song with this type of strumming. It's kind of country-ish with that sounding there, but it's one style of strumming that's done with this thin type of pick. All right? Now, this is a 73 millimeter. This is a 1 millimeter. This is a lot thicker pick. If you check it out, it's very hard to bend. This is a very hard pick. This is a hard pick for playing guitar, you know? But I really like playing with hard picks because for some purposes and for the music I'm specialized in, it works very, very good because I can get a chunkier sound and I can do a lot of different things. When I'm playing the acoustic, and I'm doing like rhythmic strumming, I love the soft one. But when I'm doing other styles of picking, such as country, rock and roll, metal, punk picking, I would always prefer a heavier pick. Because you know, heavy picks give you a lot chunkier sound. So just let me show you this example. We're going to continue with our E major chord right here. And we're going to see the difference when I play this rhythmic pattern of country. This is like a very basic country pattern. I'm going to continue in E major. And I'm just going to play 6th string, 4th string, and 5th string. And I'm going to play them all in downward motion. All right? All like this. Remember, it's important to always use your wrist. Never use your arm. Because when you use your arm, you're putting extra tension in your body. You don't want that. You're going to get tired very fast. And you're not going to be as quick. And you're probably going to lose your pick just like I did. But I've got another one. That's why I've got a box full of them. So, I'm going to show you this downward style picking of country with a hard pick. And I'm also gonna use a technique that we're gonna check out when we're playing country and when we're playing metal, rock and roll, hardcore, high gain music styles with distortion. It's very important to learn downward picking and palm muting. All right, palm muting, as you know, we're samurais, ninjas, karate people, but with the guitar. We're six-string samurais. So this is what you do. This is the correct way to do a palm muting, and this was taught to me by Professor Miyagi. No, it wasn't, but it's kind of like a karate chop, right? Hua! But we're gonna put that karate chop right here over our bridge, and that's how we're gonna get that muted sound. And it's also very good because it lets my hand rest, and it gives it a pivot point. Okay, so I'm gonna do my E major chord, downward strokes with muting, and it sounds kind of like this. You can hear that chunky sound. Now let's listen to that with the soft pick. Not quite as chunky, not quite as twangy, and not quite as country-y. Right? So let's do this exercise with some metronome at 60, all right? Let's do this. 2, 3, 4, and... Remember to measure your strength. So it's 6th, 4th, 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th, 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th, 5th, 4th. That would be some country style picking. Now we're going to check out some high gain picking styles with that same E note, all right? So I'm going to turn on my distortion over here. That's some heavy, badass distortion, right? Let's see what happens when I'm playing with distortion with my heavy pick, right? So I'm going to show you in metal, punk, and hardcore, we usually use heavy picks and we use alternate picking depending on the speed of what we're playing, right? Because let's say I'm going to play a hardcore riff with E. So sometimes what we're going to do with heavy styles is we're going to alternate from palm mute and the open chord, right? So it's very important to be able to put our hand up and down. Check it out. Let's do that with a metronome and see how this sounds. So, alright, so I'm going to teach you how to do this alternate picking style with this chunky palm mute and the open chord, right? Because it's important to alternate so we feel that difference. Right, so we're going to do 2 muted, 1 open. Right? Here we go. Now I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret about this palm muting style. You know, this is one of the most hidden secrets about heavy music playing styles. And no one is going to tell you this, but the harder you play, the worse it's going to sound. You wouldn't imagine that, right? Because it's like, oh, it's badass heavy music. So let's... No. The softer you play the palm muting, the better it's gonna sound. Check out the difference. This is heavy playing. You see it goes open sometimes, it doesn't sound as chunky, but when I really put that palm okay and I play it very softly, see, it sounds a lot better. And when we're doing speed picking, it's gonna be very important to be very careful with this. So let's check it out again. 2, 3, 4. All right, now we're gonna check out how we're gonna sum this downward picking with palm muting with some alternate picking too. Because sometimes you want a little bit more speed and you want to have a special riff, right? You want to go out and show the world what you're made of, right? And you want to play some heavy music sometimes. So let's see how this would work with some alternate picking. So it would be kind of like this. So when I'm doing the downward strokes, I'm going to play the whole 1, 2, 3 strings. I'm going to play the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings. I'm going to forget about these 3, and I'm going to do what's called a power chord, but we're going to talk about chords later. But I'm going to play, when I'm playing alternate picking, I'm just going to play the 6th string. All right? So this is how it's going to sound. This is usually used when you're doing a very fast picking, but usually you would prefer to do this with all downward strokes like this. But you need to know both techniques as well, right? So what we're going to do in this exercise is we're going to do both, okay? We're going to do one with alternate picking and the other one with all downward strokes. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. That way you're going to build up your technique. Then you can speed it up. You can do it at 70, 80, 90, 120, 150, 160. Whatever speed works for the style you want to play. Because remember, what we're after is we're after your musical identity. We want you to have your own guitar style. Because, you know, everyone's unique in the world and everyone wants to play sometimes a specific style of music. And if you want to play various styles of music, it's cool too. But it's important for you to at least know how to play these styles. You never know. What if tomorrow they invite you to play in a really famous metal band, like, hey, come on, let's go on tour. And you're like, oh man, my teacher only told me how to play classical styles. And what are you going to do then? Oh man, sorry. I guess I'll leave that Germany tour to some other guy, some other bloke. That doesn't sound so good, right? So practice. It's all about practice. Practice this downward and combined alternate picking styles so you can check out different picking ways. All right? Hey there, and welcome back to your Mega Guitar course. I hope you've had a good time as much as I have. I really enjoy teaching to you guys what I know and, you know, the things that I've learned over these years, playing guitar, recording, and playing around the world. So I wanted to show you a little bit of things that are very important to me, and I believe they are very important to play guitar better. And if you don't have like strong tendons and muscles in your arms, it's going to give you maybe a little bit of a hard time playing, because it's important to have strong tendons and especially your wrists. Your wrists need to have like the strength to take the strumming, to take the playing, and your tendons need to be stretched out. You need to take a little bit of energy out of those guys, right? So that's what I'm going to explain to you this time, all right? So I'm going to use this. That's a very basic wrist training elastic band. You can find these even without the little hand thingies over here. You can find them just the elastic band. They come by colors, as I use usually the green when I'm using just the band. But here I've got this blue one, which works pretty good, very well to me, because I think it's very important to strengthen a little bit your arms. So I'm going to show you a couple of exercises that are good for strengthening your arms and your wrists, your tendons, and also I'm going to show you some stretching exercises, okay? So these type of bands, we usually put them in our leg, underneath our leg right here, okay? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do some simple arm strengthening exercises, okay? And we're going to do 10 with each arm, all right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think you can do 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to do our left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to do 10 more. We can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's pretty straightforward, right? Now we're going to do a little for our shoulders, all right? So we're just going to put out our arm in front like this, all right? We're going to do 20 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to do our left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, how's that feeling? Bet that's feeling good. Now we're going to do the same, but we're going to do it sideways. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's do our other arm, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There we go. Bet you're feeling a little bit stronger already. All right, now, this one, particularly important for guitarists because it's going to strengthen our wrists, right? So we're going to do some dorsal and some palmar flexions that are going to help us get stronger, especially in the wrist, because it's very important for us to have our tendons and wrists ready to play and ready to do anything that we ask for them. And if we want them to do that, we have to exercise them a little bit. So let's give them some love. All right, so we're going to put our hand in front and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Let's go for the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now we're going to do the polymers, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Remember, just the wrists, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. There you go. All right, I think we're done with this. Remember, our body always likes to get a little bit warmed up or a little bit worked up before we stretch. Remember, always stretch at the end of any warm-up or any exercise, all right? So, now we're going to stretch out a little bit, and these stretch outs are very important for when we're ending a lesson, all right? When we're ending any practice, time should have a time for a rest and stretching, all right? So I'm going to show you a couple of stretching exercises which are very important, right? Because we have a lot of muscles in our arms and in our hands that need to be stretched out, right? So, first one we're going to do is we're going to grab our elbow, our left arm, and put it forward, and I'm going to grab my elbow, and I'm going to push it towards my right shoulder. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to let it go slowly, all right? We're going to do the same with our right arm, okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There you go. All right, now we're going to stretch these muscles over here. That one we just did is going to stretch all our muscles from our shoulder blades, okay? So now we're going to stretch our triceps that are over here. So here we go. We're going to go like this right over our head, and we're going to help ourselves with our other hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to let it go slowly, all right? Remember, be gentle with your body. Now we're going to do our left arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let it go slowly. All right, so now we're going to stretch all the muscles and tendons that we have over here. Okay, so first we're going to do it with our left arm, And we're going to put our hand in front and we're going to stretch the palm of our hand outwards, including our thumb. It's very important for us to stretch our thumb tendons and muscles because we're going to use a lot of that. So there we go. Remember to breathe deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to let it go slowly, right? Remember, be gentle to your body. I can't stress enough about that. So now we're going to do our thumb, okay? We're going to grab our thumb and we're going to stretch it towards us, right? With our other arm and with our other hand. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Now we're going to do our other hand, right? Stretch it up front. And there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let it go slowly. There you go. Now we're going to do our thumb as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There you go. Now we're going to do our dorsals. We're going to stretch our hand in front. Thumb goes in. Make a fist. Turn your arm outsides. And your wrist goes inside. And there you go. Stretch it all the way in with your other arm. Well, that hurts a little bit. That can sting a bit. But it's going to be really good for your body, you know? There you go. People who have tendinitis tend to do this type of exercise, and it's really healthy, you know? So let it go slowly. And disarm the position. There you go. Now the other arm. And it goes outward. Thumb goes in. Palm grabs and makes a fist. Turn it around and towards you. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let it go slowly and shake your hands up a little bit and give yourself a big round of applause because you're going to be guitar gods in the future and goddesses. Don't forget about that. See you in the next lesson.
Congratulations on completing this free 3-hour Guitar Essentials course. It's a pretty great achievement and I hope that you have enjoyed it. You are now ready to get started on your guitar playing journey. If you would like to uncover all the hidden tips and tricks of guitar playing and learn new styles and techniques, head over to skillademia.com. The Beginner to Advanced course consists of many more hours of explanations, exercises, and practical tasks which will turn you into a pro in no time. You'll be able to learn the fundamentals of guitar playing, music theory, gear care, as well as learn to play different songs and styles such as blues, fingerstyle, jazz, and rock. Finally, you'll master both the acoustic and electric guitar and learn about guitar recording techniques. So if this sounds like the course for you, go check it out. Thank you for watching and see you soon.